Porch Diary podcast. Welcome back to the porch with me, Masabe Thathane-Tyolweni. Last time we stood still, we let the salt water speak. We named desire not as weakness but as a mirror, showing us what we long for and what we will not compromise. We lingered in the in-between where the world says, choose now or lose out, but our spirit whispered, not at the cost of your becoming. This is the greatest of all time podcast, and this is episode 9, Still I Rise, Becoming After the Break. There are days when the journey of becoming does not just pause, it crushes like the wave, when the silence is no longer stillness but sorrow, when we fall not because we are weak, but because we dared to walk with open hearts and unguarded hope. And yet, the story does not end at the stumble. Becoming is not ruined by the fall. It is revealed in the rising. And so we gather here again, with scraped knees, tender truths, and a quiet fire that says, I am still here. I am still becoming. Part 1, the break that unmakes, but also remakes. There is a moment after the fall that feels like unraveling, not the dramatic collapse, but the quieter undoing, where your breath is shallow, your eyes sting with tears, and you whisper to yourself, I thought I was past this. Maybe it was a conversation that went wrong, a hand that let go of yours, a door that closed, too softly to slam, but loud enough to echo with the ripples through your heart. We all have those moments when someone who once saw us suddenly could not hold the weight of our becoming. When love leaned too far into comfort and pulled us back from our edge. When we said no and it cost us more than we expected. These are not just stumbles, they are sacred ruptures. Because in the wreckage we find what still stands. In the letting go we learn what we never needed to carry. And in the ache of rejection we remember. We are not only lovable when accepted, we are worthy as we were created. Still I rise, says Maya Angelou. Not because we are unbreakable, but because we are not undone by breaking. Part 2. The recovery is not always pretty. Here is the truth no one told us. Rising is not always poetic. Sometimes it is awkward. Sometimes it is petty. Sometimes it is crying in the shower. It is blocking numbers, deleting drafts of messages you will never send. Sometimes rising looks like this. Going for a walk even when you do not want to. Showing up for work with swollen eyes but steady hands. Laughing too loudly at something dumb because joy still sneaks in. This too is becoming. Because recovery is not perfection, it is practice. Part 3. Becoming is communal. This path of becoming is not walked alone. So today we hold space for every listener who is starting over, relearning their voice, standing at the edge of a new becoming. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. You are becoming. And that, even with all its messiness, is sacred. Tell us, what did your last stumble teach you? What are you rising towards now? As we go forward into our becoming, remember, I am the one who fell and got up slowly, who did not rise like fire but like dawn, unsure at first, then radiant. I am the one who lost and loved anyway, who cracked open and let the salt sting until healing began. My strength is not loud. It does not always roar. Sometimes it is a whisper that says, "Not today, despair. Today I breathe, I rise, I become." And maybe that is enough. This quiet defiance, this soft return, not to who I was, but to who I am becoming. Still I rise, not perfectly, not painlessly, but beautifully. Until next time, may your becoming be bold, your breaks be blessed, and your rising be your offering. Join me again, or when the greatest of all time rise again, where black sheep turn and become goats. The Porch Diary Podcast.